Hello everyone, and now welcome to a 1v1 matchup, TGW versus KraV, this game taking place here on Secret Valley. We're looking at KraV spawning as, well, the pretty in pink undead player on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, we are looking at TGW spawning as the red Night Elf. Night Elf versus Undead should be a very, very entertaining matchup to say the least as things do get underway. Gonna go ahead and try and speed things up to the 4 times mark as we've all, or most of us has, oh, wait. Early aggro coming in from the ghoul, being able to pull the Ancient of War and actually have it suffer quite a bit of damage. This is a really aggressive play by KraV because that ghoul is currently not harvesting any lumber. By not harvesting any lumber, well, oh, where's that wisp going to be able to perhaps block or cause some problems for that ghoul right there? Is the Ancient of War going to get the final hit in? Maybe able to get in one more hit right there, does take it down. And now the Ancient of War is going to be repaired while the Archer is being trained. New ghouls are being trained up by KraV off over here as we are going into a Death Knight. I am trying to adjust my audio settings up a little bit more. Let me know if this works a little bit better. I'm playing with my compressor, my gate, my gain boost, and all of those settings here. Hopefully, well, I don't know if my game sounds are too loud now or all of that. Hopefully, Twitch chat will tell me. Anyways, coming back around, Ancient of War going to be absorbing a little bit of damage. We should be looking at some repairs. There we are, as a Keeper of the Grove being trained up and now will join in on this fight. Ghouls coming back across here. Was that worth that ghoul? I don't know. It was a little bit of a risky play. Quite a bit of lumber was lost there. We'll see how KraV responds. He may have perhaps a bit of delayed tech to tier 2. As well as we're looking at the Ancient of War has suffered quite a bit of damage as well, and there was some repairs from those wisps to try and, well, keep that Ancient of War up. So loss of ghouls, or loss of gold in the ghoul and loss of lumber in the harvesting compared to the repairing, and then the attention and focus needed to try and keep that Ancient of War alive and well. Coming back around here, a Death Knight looking to finish off this Null Overseer creep camp. Sound is good. Thank you for letting me know. Well, Death Knight gonna finish off this last Null Brood here. Are we gonna get a Death Coil onto that ghoul? No, we are not. The Death Knight actually gonna be suffering a little bit of damage off across here, as well, a Death Knight finishing it off with a Death Coil and now making its way back onto the Blight here, getting stuck up on a sheep, as the Death Knight will be picking up another a Rod of Necromancy, and now, well, selling that Ring of Protection +3. Keeper of the Grove is already at level 2. It's well, wandering around a bit on the map here. Mantle of Intelligence dropped here, and curious as to why the Keeper of the Grove isn't actually keeping track of his own army and then picking up the necessary items. Perhaps he's looking to try and clear out or catch his opponent creeping, but that just doesn't seem to be working as of yet. All right, Death Knight does get to level 2, Unholy Aura, a better regeneration and faster movement speed. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove going to perhaps make its way around and trying to figure out where exactly his opponent is after all this time. All right, going to go ahead and aggro that Ogre Magi, pull it away. Death Knight now comes across, sees this, and now, well, going to be joining in on the battle. This is an important timing here, beautifully done by TGW to make sure that KraV cannot line up hit the units exactly out as he wants. Keeper of the Grove, no, Death Knight got the experience there. And who gets the item? It looks as though it was a Slippers of Agility picked up by the Death Knight. Rather weak item for what I would have thought to be from a level 5 Ogre Magi, as we've seen Entangle now go down on a low hit point Ghoul. Ghoul is, well, gonna get taken down by his own leader there as the Death Knight is out of mana. All right, Archer's continuing to belt down. There goes one unit there. Oh, the Ring of Regeneration was on a ghoul, so it was picked up there. And now TGW is going to pick it up. Yes, he does. Keeper of the Grove, well, finds the ghoul carrying the Ring of Regeneration and ends up picking it up because of that backpack upgrade. I don't remember the last time I've seen that. That does make more sense, though, as the Ring of Regeneration is a drop from an Ogre or an Ogre Magi creep camp, as opposed to that Slippers of Agility. I thought perhaps they made some changes in Secret Valleys 2.0 that I was not aware of. Keeper of the Grove now coming back around here. Ghoul going to end up getting taken out here as, well, we see some more ensnares or entangles going down. And Death Knight does get to level 3, does get a Death Coil off. Staff of Teleportation now on the Keeper of the Grove. He will be teleporting all the way back home. And, well, was it worth it? All of that harassment. KraV is known to go for expansions, and that is exactly what he's going for here, as we now are looking at a Panda coming in alongside the TGW. Improved bows also, well, increased range of attack on all of those archers going from 500 to 700 there. A drastic difference, as Ogre Warrior is going to get taken down. Ogre Magi, well, a bit of Drunken Haze causing him to miss his targets, and that, well, acts as a bit of damage mitigation, as the Panda really wants to get up to level 2 for that Breath of Fire, perhaps to put some pressure onto all of these ghouls that we see here. Are we going to see a Drunken Haze? Yes, we are. Keeper of the Grove, seeing that level 3 could, well, summon up some treants as well to act as a front line. And here we are, a stand-up, prop-up army ready to engage, as the Panda now trying to retreat back as well. There's a Death Coil saving a low hit point ghoul, as the ghouls are now trying to run towards the archers. Archers have a difficult time trying to get away from the Death Knight, as the archers are now, well, just running up against all of these Murlocs here and going to try and engage. All right, there's a couple of ensnares. That's a lot of treants engaging Panda. Well, we're not quite sure where it's running off to, as all of the archers are pretty much hidden in the very, very far back. Ghoul trying to finish off an archer before the, well, Murlocs finish off the Ghoul, and it looks like it is going to be able to finish off that target there. Remember, the Dust of Appearance only gives vision to the people who actually applied it. So the Dust of Appearance from the Death Knight onto the archers are able to shadow meld and hide from the creep camps, as we are looking at Murlocs coming back across here once more. A couple of, or a handful of unique scenarios that I did not expect to see, as the Panda now going to finish off a treant here. All right, another lone Acolyte going to try to perhaps make its way back. Going to go ahead and back away here. Scroll of Town Portal now going to go ahead and whisk all of the units back home. Where are, well, off over here to the expansion location. All right, there's a crazy battle all across everywhere on the map, as the Brewmaster will be getting to level 2. All right, Tree of Life now working to entangle that gold mine here, while also getting in a couple of attacks as well. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, however, making this creep camp a little bit more difficult to finish off, as the Brewmaster does pick up a crystal ball to try and reveal things. Death Knight is currently invisible, though, as we're looking at a little bit of damage here. What is that Death Knight really looking to do? And how much damage can he really do in this situation, as there are hippogriffs in, well, ready to be mounted by the archers, and then poke a little bit of damage as well. Already some of unique scenarios that I am not expecting. Treants now going to be joining on the battle. Death Knight, Panda going to go ahead and engage here, as the Hippogriff's going to go ahead and try and tear apart that red Drake. Is that going to be enough there? This is something that I don't believe I've seen actually often in play here. The red Drake is often very difficult to finish off, but the Death Knight gets the Death Coil off and finishes it off there. Hippogriffs trained up exactly for the purpose to finish off the red Drake, unable to finish him off, as the Death Knight now looking to perhaps finish off this War Golem. More damage poking on through. Hippogriff Riders now unmounted. Death Knight still stealing quite a bit of experience away from that Panda, as the Panda just wants to get up to level 3. All right, Panda now out of item slots, going to finish off this War Golem, as well. The Death Knight may be able to pick up the item as well. What is going on here, as the Brewmaster trying to chase after all of those units once more? All right, a little bit more engagement. Death Knight unable to get a Death Coil off. He's going to finish off that last attack. The item, what was the item there? Was there not an item? I don't know if there was an item. All right, coming back down to the south here was Belt of Giant Strength. All right, Brewmaster, I thought he was already maxed out on items. Chat will have to let me know. Trying to keep track of so many things in this matchup. Keeper of the Grove, Clarity Potion, continuing to try and put pressure on this Haunted Goldmine. Could perhaps clear it out from the back and then be able to expose that way, as the Panda, well, Panda should really be trying to clear off the rest of the Murlocs here. All right, Ogre Magi going to get taken down pretty easily. There it goes, as we see another Scroll of the Beast drop. So a Scroll of the Beast, now the Brewmaster and also that Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove quickly sells that Scroll of the Beast, not really caring for it whatsoever. Older Warrior and Forest Troll Trappers are going to get finished off here. Death Knight still sitting at level 3 by his lonesome self as we are teching the tier 2 and nearly there. Panda is at level 3, level 2 Breath of Fire, level 1 Drunken Haze. Items being sold, transferred back and forth. Staff of Preservation on the Keeper of the Grove. Staff of Teleportation on the Brewmaster to get back in and join in on the fight as we are still only at Tree of Ages. All right, finally feels like a bit of reprieve after all of this time. Necropolis, could perhaps be absorbing a lot more damage. There's a Scroll of Protection. There's a Scroll of the Beast, and that is going to be some big damage. There's a Breath of Fire hitting back across there as as that is not going to be able to finish up. Meanwhile, big damage on the Hippogriff Riders, +4, 25% damage across all of those units here as the Hippogriff Riders now trying to chase after all of those ground units. Hippogriffs, however, unable to catch up to those units, making their way down as well. We're looking at the Panda. Panda looking to finish off the Nerubian towers and finish off some of these buildings as well. And this is going to be a shutdown expansion, at least temporarily, as the Scroll of the Beast is still having its effect in play. All right, Scroll of Healing quickly being used there. Panda could get off a Drunken Haze across all of these units, perhaps a Breath of Fire. No, not going to be going for that. Not quite sure why we're not going to see all of that lasting AoE damage onto all of those units. Seems a bit delayed. A Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire coupled with another Scroll of Healing against all of those tightly grouped units seems like it would have been an absolute no-brainer. All right, 10,500 gold, a 10,700 gold, about a 20-second difference in with full saturation as TGW has been constantly putting pressure onto KraV. Meanwhile, Web now completed. Red Drake, Web down, going to get finished off by the Death Knight here. War Golem is in position as well as the armies are already trying to make their way over. All right, Skeletal Minions getting shut down here. Keeper of the Grove going to head back up off to the north as well. In the back of KraV's mind, he's perhaps wondering if he is going to be exposed to a creep jack here. All right, Fountain of Health making this creep camp difficult to finish off, especially without the Lich's Orb of Corruption, as that War Golem is regenerating hit points easily while because of that Fountain of Health, while still having a decent enough armor to make it difficult to take down. All right, Endurance Aura now given to the Keeper of the Grove, faster movement speed as we could be getting into a level 4, no, just shy of level 4 Brewmaster. Skeletal Minion is going to give it, no it is not, still just a shy, now 7 experience away. Handful of towers here. KraV wants to defend this expansion. All right, going to heal up at the Fountain of Health. And this is something that I don't think has ever come up before, but interesting to note. The Hippogriff Riders, if you have archers and Hippogriffs, it actually makes more sense to mount them, to have Hippogriff Riders heal up. Well, actually, no, it doesn't. It's percentage. No, you heal hit points faster as those separated is still the same. So never mind, you won't heal faster, but but individually, it's the sum is equal to its parts. All right, can't even explain that clearly. Anyways, Web now bringing down those Hippogriff Riders. Breath of Fire coming back across. Lich now sitting at level 2. Hippogriff Riders continuing to fight their way through. We see Dust of Appearance applied just in case the Crypt Fiends try to play a game of whack-a-mole and bury themselves in the sand. We are looking at Fairy Dragons, but the Mana Flare is a bit too low. We finally see some Fairy Dragons being able to Mana Flare some of those Obsidian statues in the back. Big Breath of Fire blowing over a couple of Crypt Fiends as the Mana Flares are really starting to pick away at those Obsidian statues. 62 supply compared to 57. Both sides trying to train up more units, as well as more Fairy Dragons are just quickly getting webbed down the moment they are out here onto the battlefield. Crypt Fiends is going to survive. Yes, it does. A split second the split second just in time save as that Crypt Fiend now looking to back away and double back around. Meanwhile, Lich could have a very, very bad day as we are looking at more damage. There's Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, Entangle, I believe, as a Death Coil comes across for the save as well. Death Knight now finally out of mana. Panda wants to get off some Breaths of Fire. There goes one Obsidian statue. That's going to be a big deal. There goes another Crypt Fiend as well, as the Lich does get up to level 3 and now has access to level 2 Frost Nova. Both sides still fighting away. An absolute bloodbath here as the back entrance of this base and now finally cracked open as the Panda could try and get some additional damage. Are we going to see some, yes, Breath of Fire finishing off another Obsidian statue there as the Panda gets Staff of Preservation back home. All right, Staff of Preservation back home. He could easily drink up, well, quite a bit of Moonwell juice and now make its way back out onto the battlefield with the Staff of Teleportation and not ease up at all. Meanwhile, we are looking at some healing here. Burrowed Crypt Fiend also regenerating nicely as well. All right, Hippogriff Rider has the same amount of hit points as an Archer and a Hippogriff. So while standing next to the Fountain of Health, it regenerates both the Archers and the hit points as for a total faster regeneration. Or this, not total faster. It's just like if it was 15 hit points a second or 5 hit points a second, it would be 2 for the Archer or 1 for the Archer and 4 for the Hippogriff if they were dismounted. Just trying to explain that in the middle of a battle. Yeah. Prioritize what I want to talk about. Secret Valley, third base is being set up down to the south here, but I believe the Death Knight and the Lich are going to easily scout this out. Level 5 Death Knight, level 3 Lich, big Frost Nova goes down. You're going to finish off all of these wisps here as the Tree of Life going to get shut down. But during this time, we're going to see, well, we're going to see TGW clear out the other creep camp off to the north, the other red creep camp picking up a Cloak of Flames. That is going to be some good AoE damage on that Brewmaster who is often in the thick of things. All right, Brewmaster could also, oh no, just shy of level 5 as well. 5 experience away from being able to unlock that level 3 Breath of Fire. And well, Green Creep Camp to finish the job. Keeper of the Grove now also just shy of level 5 as well, as they're going to be making their way over who's going to be able to deal more damage. And it's interesting that the Panda with Breath of Fire actually being able to blow over many of these buildings could be the big problem here. Scroll of Town Portal now inbound coming in from KraV as they're trying to take down this Black Citadel. May not be able to work. Panda not close enough to really finish off anything there as, well, we see the Pit Lord as the third and final hero. No extra bit of experience. Scroll of Town Portal to retreat back. Well, perhaps trying to heal over at the Secret Valley, the fountain would be absolutely entertaining. Now, it would be interesting to see if, like at the end game scenario, a Tree of Life. Why is the Keeper of the Grove backing away while the Panda stays? Makes no sense as the Panda can't gain any more experience. The Keeper of the Grove is the one who wants to get up to level 5 and unable to do exactly that. All right, going to go ahead and engage. There goes an Entangle. Death Knight is going to get a Death Coil off. No, he is not. Level 5 now on the Keeper of the Grove. He is opting to go for level 3 Treants as we don't see that many Destroyers out in play. More Treants now joining in on the battlefield. They're actually attacking against the creeps here. Really should be focusing on the main fight at hand as we're looking at, well, just Obsidian statues getting taken down over and over. Treants finishing things off here. Level 2 now on the Pit Lord. Keeper of the Grove looking to back away as the Brewmaster, well, in that front line spot, still racking up quite a bit of damage. And there's another Breath of Fire there. Death Coil saving the low hit point Crypt Fiends as they're backing away. KraV and TGW duking this out here. 44 supply compared to 55. And all of the heroes are just gaining large amounts of experience as the armies are constantly dying. 46 supplied now compared to 58. All right, still chasing around. Panda trying to perhaps rack up some damage onto multiple units. Collateral damage onto the Crypt Fiends, making it difficult for the Death Knight to know who to try and Death Coil. But the Crypt Fiends are just wandering around every different which way, not even bothering to burrow, as we're going to see a Crypt Fiend taken down here. All right, there goes, well, a creep finally, as the Pit Lord is about to get to level 3. There goes a Fairy Dragon as well. Both sides still fighting their way through. Brewmaster does have Orb of Venom, so damage over time is actually going to be quite high. Endurance or onto the Keeper of the Grove with a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability used on the Death Knight in order to try and get away. Keeper of the Grove is still trying to fight back the other way. Who's going to come back across? And it looks as though, yes, the Lich has fallen at level 4. And it looks as though, well, the Pit Lord ends up getting a big heal at the last possible moment. Obsidian statue coming back the other way. Panda not going to be able to close in on that distance. Pit Lord saved, and I don't, at the last possible moment, that Death Coil just in time and casted it. I thought there perhaps would have been too much distance for that missile projectile to try and land on that pit lord, but no, it got there with like a couple of frames to spare. Now, Night Elf does have the added benefit of being able to move their trees of life. After a while, having a tree of life at both fountains, if all of the main gold mines or all the gold mines are mined out, means that you can translate a retreat into a quick heal and then try and reload quickly. Lich gonna go ahead and get some additional armor and now have a faster attack speed as well, as we're looking at the fairy dragons now mounting a counter attack here, going straight after the Nerubian towers. Nerubian tower going to get shut down. Panda does have some mana, but not quite that much. Keeper of the Grove still keeping a little bit of distance here as the Death Knight now making its way over. An army of fairy dragons being a magic immune, meaning the Death Knights can't really do much. And well, in comes all of those Crypt Fiends who could try and web down all of those targets. Sounds great, by the way. Your fellows tripping. Crota is casting, and I'm not at work. Talk about the stars aligning. Hey, well, I did boost my gain and upped and lowered the attack point, or lowered the point at which there is compression on my microphone. So let me know how all of this sounds here. As well, quick detonation on a wisp removes some precious mana again. Off to the north, a ninja expansion trying to be placed down. Crypt Fiend may actually find this ninja expansion here. There goes an entangle onto that Crypt Fiend, and we may be actually looking at both Earthstorm in fire and Tranquility in play as the way the battles are going. KraV currently sitting at 66 supply. Meanwhile, TGW is currently sitting at 50 over 60, purposely not going into low upkeep. Back down to the south here. We're going to go ahead and try and engage. There, that is a lot of web, but focusing all of this here. There's a breath of fire to try and save that Crypt Fiend. The Panda needs to be able to breath of fire multiple units, making it difficult for the Death Knight to know who to actually try and save. Keeper of the Grove says, you know what? I don't want to be sticking around in this fight whatsoever. One Obsidian statue does get taken down, though. And the Obsidian statues are perhaps the weakest link in the army. They are incredibly important to try and keep hit points and mana on the heroes, while at the same time cannot be death coiled by the Death Knight for a sudden burst heal. All right. Fountain of Health. Perhaps some of these fairy dragons should be over at the Fountain of Health. Not quite sure why they are off to the north instead of healing up and regenerating some of those hit points. Meanwhile, we should be looking at are we going to see another Tree of Life try to be placed down? That is the question there, as Treants could end up just giving bonus experience, and the Death Knight could get to level 3 Unholy Aura, meaning even faster movement speed. All right, mass fairy dragons. The style of play so far, we've seen mass fairy dragons used occasionally as the Tree of Eternity. Now makes its way on over to this southern expansion. Gold mines, about 6 minutes, 7 minutes of mining left. If they're not undergoing any sort of harassment. Hey Blade, how are you doing? Thanks for the follow. As we're looking at all of this healing going on here. Now, a little bit of a curious spot for the Night Elf and the Keeper of the Grove. The Keeper of the Grove, if it does in fact get up to level 6, Tranquility coupled with the Fountain of Health, do you really need a Tranquility? Yes, the Tranquility can be used in battle, but it also exposes your Keeper of the Grove as he has to be stationary. Off to the north here, one Destroyer trying to shut down any sort of mining there. Meanwhile, Treants are looking to take down some of these Acolytes, but this is actually just gifted experience, as you're seeing Treant after Treant getting taken down, as the Death Knight now getting very close to level 6. Down to the south here, we're looking at 57 supply army compared to 70. KraV looking, of Tree of Life, it looks like it will get shut down here. Entangled Gold Mine nearly fully done, and we could be looking at a bit more aggression as the Treants and then now the Fairy Dragons once more trying to dive on in. All right, there you are. We are looking at a couple of Spirit Towers here. The Fairy Dragons are really pushing pressure onto the Haunted Gold Mine, and the Panda just says, fine, if all the Acolytes are gone, I will just go ahead and take it down. All right, Brewmaster in a bit of trouble, takes a bit of Death Coil Frost Nova, gets in a couple of hits here, but now we are looking at 0 gold mines versus 1, as in a new Ancient of War also getting added into play here at the front door. Hippogriff or Fairy Dragon, and also a Hippogriff trying to challenge the skies, trying to take down that destroyer, as a couple of Crypt Fiends could easily have just webbed down those units. All right, Ancient of War, this should get canceled. Tree of Life should get canceled as well, and this is all buying time for the expansion down south to easily gain a bit more gold. 10 gold a second, 600 gold a minute compared to 0 gold a minute here, as KraV could be in trouble. But then again, we've seen it multiple times before. Undead players, all they need are heroes and obsidian statues with mana, and they can still take a game. Acolytes could be trying to haunt haunt that gold mine here, set up a necropolis, as this expansion is completely shut down. Breath of Fire trying to blow things over, piercing damage, rather difficult to try to take things out here, as the Keeper of the Grove is going to try and Scroll of Town Portal. No, there is a Scroll of Town Portal on the Panda. The Tree of Eternity taking quite a bit of damage here, but no Scroll of Town Portal to try and save. Instead, going after the Tomb of Relics here. Is that actually worth it? A big advantage in holding onto this Tree of Eternity, but now he's actually going to end up giving this advantage up. 68 supply compared to 54. Every bit of gold getting mined out here, trying to repair, trying to buy a little bit of time, as we're looking at the Black Citadel also going to get taken down. All right, what I thought was going to turn into an economic game has now turned into a base race, as the Black Citadel is also going to get taken down as well. But there was also a necropolis, so Scroll of Town Portal is going to be coming back in on the other side here. Tree of Eternity was lost. Panda could end up getting taken down. No, uses Scroll of Healing and ends up surviving. All right, this is a dangerous game going back and forth. Panda sitting at level 5, nearly level 6. Death Knight already at level 6 now. No mining happening anywhere on the map, as the Death Knight, Lich, and a Pit Lord, offering up a very, very strange tri-hero combination. No additional nuking and no silence. Pit Lord could perhaps... Well, no, Pit Lord needs some way to attack air to deal with all of these Fairy Dragons. Perhaps we should be getting Orbs of Corruption onto the other heroes. But remember, the Black Citadel was taken down. There's only one Orb of Corruption on the Lich right now, so at most you can give the Orb of Corruption to the Death Knight, and that is about it to try and attack all of these air units. Fairy Dragons, Hippogriffs. All right, going to go ahead and engage here. Destroyer, Orb of Venom, taking quite a bit of damage. Going to take one more volley. Is going to take another volley there, yes, but a quick Death Coil does end up saving. All right, Burrowed Crypt Fiends in a Blight, pretty much healing up as though it was next to a Fountain of Health. Treants are now looking to retreat back, and, well, those Treants are just offering hit points to those destroyers and giving a little bit of mana as well. All right, Frost Nova going down, trying to finish off some of those Treants. Lich is still sitting only at level 4, but once at level 5, that level 3 Frost Nova could spell certain doom. Fairy Dragons, 1-1 upgrades, no additional trainings. There is a Tree of Life down to the south here. We could be going into an engagement. Treants, well, Acolytes trying to do something. Meanwhile, a Destroyer, is it going to end up taking down a Tree of Life? That is a question there. Down to 70 hit points, down to 60 hit points. Hippogriff going to try and poke that one unit away, as we see a lot of web go down as well. Mana Flare. All right, Fairy Dragons trying to stay alive, trying to go into that Mana Flare mode whenever they are webbed down, so that they have some additional armor. Meanwhile, the other Fairy Dragons are just trying to engage. There's a Breath of Fire finishing off an Obsidian statue. All right, that is going to be a big shot there, as the Panda still wandering around here, perhaps trying to finish off any sort of these Acolytes, and we do get level 6. Earthstorm and Fire is now on a line. Breath of Fire is going to be playing here. Lich is continuing to go after the Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove now going to go ahead and Scroll of Town Portal to back out here. Where is that Scroll of Town Portal? It is going to land over here at the southern expansion. Hippogriff staying strong, trying to get this Tree of Life fully saturated. Panda is sitting at level 6 and, well, gonna head over to that Fountain of Health to try and regenerate a bit of hit points. Destroyer attempting to take down this Tree of Life. That's not going to work out well, as the Fairy Dragons are already in position once again. Meanwhile, this Tree of Life not going to, well, do well against things off to the north, as the Lich did in fact get to level 5, which means level 3 Frost Nova is now on the table. All right. Oh, Dark Ranger doesn't make sense because there is nothing nothing that can generate skeletal minions for the Lich. Interesting choice overall. Treants now going after all of these buildings, and well, you're taking down buildings, but you're also giving to your opponent. If this does turn into a base race, it is going to be incredibly close, as we are now looking at mining finally happening for TGW after all this time. All right, no slow poison. Destroyer trying to back away, taking quite a bit of damage over time. Treants or could get devoured. Pit Lord now trying to make its way back over here, and just, well, constantly try and heal things up. There are some acolytes here, but the Treants are just running on in, trying to get some damage onto the Altar of Darkness and some of these other buildings, and trying to win this fight in that manner. However, more experience is still being given over and over, as we see a Tranquility now online here. All right, Death Knight trying to retreat back. Earthstorm and Fire coming back across here. Are we perhaps going to be looking at a couple of Cyclones in order to trap some of the undead units? As well, Earthstorm and Fire looks to be coming to an end. A little bit of damage here. Are we going to see well, there's a bit of damage there. There's a quick burrow, and it is going to end up surviving. Web now down here. Fire could try and stand next to the target here. Keeper of the Grove may be forced to back up. Ends up using the Scroll of Town Portal to try and retreat. We are looking at a couple of quick kills as well, as the burrowed Crypt Fiend able to stay alive again. All right, an expansion off over here. This Tree of Life, as I mentioned, could be teleported or moved over to Secret Valley of Fountain of Health to try and heal back up and get ready for that next fight. Down to the south here, one Ancient of War 35 supply compared to KraV's 46 Undead Army. Well, looking very scary with a level 3 Death Coil and a level 3 Frost Nova. Treants still making their way over, trying to poke apart some of the buildings here, and TGW's expansion is once again gonna get, well, handled. Quick burrow right there. Oh, just in time to save itself once more, as the Panda now going to go ahead and head after buildings. All right, Necropolis could end up getting destroyed here. Are there any more acolytes? Yes, there is actually an acolyte with KraV, but he has no easy way to build a building unless there is a blight available, and I don't see a sacrificial skull on any of the undead heroes. We're turning this into a base race scenario, and, well, Necropolis is going to get taken down here, trying to finish off more buildings. Crypt could get taken down as well. Treants are trying to finish off the buildings in the back, and who knew that the Keeper of the Grove, with all of those Treants, were effective at taking down buildings. All right, Keeper of the Grove now trying to make its way back over here, perhaps trying to summon up some more Treants to finish off all of these buildings. Panda trying to maximize its effectiveness by trying to use that Breath of Fire against multiple buildings, as well as the Death Knight now shows up to the party. All right, Scroll of Town Portal is in fact available. We're looking at quite a bit of damage here, trying to finish off more of these units. There it goes, Tranquility, finishing off more of these buildings. Breath of Fire going to be used now. Slaughterhouse, Altar of Darkness, the only couple of buildings that are left. Keeper of the Grove could have a very bad day. Scroll of Town Portal quickly being used. The Slaughterhouse now down to 400 hit points, dropping quickly, but will end up surviving. All right. Like I said, Secret Valley, move one of your buildings off over to the fountain, and you can instantly heal up and recharge if you are going into a base race spot. All right. Level 6 Panda, Breath of Fire. We are looking at, well, full or pretty full Moonwells to use for that Panda to get into position again. More Breath of Fire here, as we see a Necropolis being built down to the south here. So 2 Necropolises being summoned up here, as a couple of items perhaps were sold by the undead just to get more hit points to stay on the map. Panda could be in trouble. He gets quickly spotted by the rest of the undead army. There goes Earthstorm and Fire, and they are going to try and engage. What is going on here? Storm just going to go ahead and win, walk away. Earth is where everything will teleport back to, if it is still alive. There is now level 5 now on the Pit Lord. Earth trying to back away off to the north. What is going on here, as Treants are going to finish off the Altar of Darkness and this slaughterhouse here? These Treants need to join in on the battle, or they are not joining in on the battle. Storm trying to finish things off here, cyclones things up, as the Keeper of the Grove wants to finish off some of the Altar of Darkness buildings. Meanwhile, Destroyer has found the Tree of Life off to the north again. So many buildings, 29 supply compared to 44, as the Treants are looking to take down the remaining buildings off here. Keeper of the Grove going to go ahead and engage Orb of Venom on the Brewmaster. Staff of Preservation moves the Keeper of the Grove back to that position. What is it doing? It is now in a tough spot. Going to go ahead and Staff of Teleportation out of here, as all of these fairy dragons are looking to finish off the buildings, but they should really be going after the necropolises while they are being summoned, as that would actually maximize their damage. Once they have that fortified armor, they get a better armor type overall, and also that 5 additional armor for pretty much a very, very effective damage reduction. Coming back across here, more damage still going on through. Crypt Fiends trying to burrow themselves, stick themselves, their head in the sand. Meanwhile, more gold is still being mined off to the north here, as there's a crazy battle happening at the 3 o'clock spawning location, or expansion location. All right, Breath of Fire finishing off more things here. Panda, Tranquility now coming online for the Keeper of the Grove. Howl of Terror reducing the amount of damage being done, as the Death Knight is sitting at level 7, does have Death Pact in order to heal up a little bit more as well. Right, Keeper of the Grove could have a very, very bad day trying to teleport away. There's a Death Coil, there's a Frost Nova, as Staff of Preservation for the save, as the units are still trying to retreat back out. Keeper of the Grove is out here on the battlefield, could have actually tried to challenge the Destroyer and the Crypt Fiend here. Instead, gonna go ahead and retreat back to the Fountain of Health. Doesn't want to go up against all of these other units, and the expansion, it looks like it is about to get taken down, but now getting repaired instead, back up to 230 some odd hit points. Tranquility now trying to get the Keeper of the Grove, as there's still Treants looking to finish off the remainder of the buildings here. All right, Destroyer looking to now take down some of these wisps as well. Meanwhile, where is the Panda is sitting at level 6, could Staff of Teleportation back home and then try and finish off some of these units, as more wisps are being trained again. Down to the south, looking to entangle up a new gold mine, while taking a play out of Moon's book, just constantly trying to expand, making it difficult for KraV to really know where exactly to attack, as there's just so much interaction and so much fighting happening all over the place. That Slaughterhouse down to 51 hit points here. We're looking at a little bit of repairs getting underway. Crypt Fiend trying to cause a little bit of body blocking. More gold still being mined off to the north here. And what is going to happen with all of these Crypt Fiends? A Keeper of the Grove trying to retreat back. There is the Panda back using Earth, Storm, and Fire to shut down all of this mining. Here is Fire just going to stay nearby enough to cause problems. Yes, damage is starting to rack up. There's Dust of Appearance, and there goes a quick burrowed Crypt Fiend. There goes another burrowed Crypt Fiend as well. 32 supply compared to 19, as the Keeper of the Grove survives by using the Scroll of Town Portal at the last possible second. All right, Scroll of Town Portal happening back off over here. A Staff of Teleportation, he's going to try and back away. Crypt Fiends are going to get taken down. The Keeper of the Grove heads back over here to the Fountains of Health, and now going to use a Clarity Potion and a Moonstone to try to fill up these Moonwells again. All right, Earth, Storm, and Fire still fighting quite a bit away. Earth purposely trying to back away, as that is where the Panda will end up respawning. All right, KraV has a necropolis down at the Fountain of Health, so he will be able to fight at the Fountain of Health, making it extremely difficult to finish off the building here. Keeper of the Grove is going to scout this out, as he's heading down to the south here to try and regenerate hit points, and sees that there is in fact a necropolis here. All right, regenerating hit points nicely, is not using up a clarity potion there. Using up a clarity potion, should be summoning up more treants, as well as Panda now trying to make its position known here. Treants more joining in on the battle. 8 treants dealing that normal damage. Death Knight now making its way back over. Keeper of the Grove nearly back up to full hit points. More damage racking up. Howl of Terror should be used here to try and shut things down, as the Death Knight now could end up getting surrounded, but trying to finish off a hero while standing next to a fountain of health as Staff of Preservation for the save right there. Tranquility comes to an end. There's a Breath of Fire, as the Brewmaster is going to try and retreat back out once more. Treants are still trying to take down the Necropolis. Meanwhile, more treants are trying to take down other buildings here, and we still see more mining happening, nearly full saturation at the south side. Couple of Moonwells still have quite a bit of, moon juice in them to try and recover bits of mana, as the Panda now trying to keep up with that Acolyte does have those boots of speed. Down at the 6 o'clock position, Death and Decay being used, and with the Lich at level 6 having access to Death and Decay, this base race completely is flipped here. The Lich will always do enough damage to finish off a building, as we are now looking at repairs here. Is it going to finish off this Tree of Life here? Yes, it is. And the Lich is now perhaps going to try and finish off more buildings. Meanwhile, back off to the north here, Fairy Dragons looking to take down the Necropolis. The slaughterhouse at the starting location has been cleaned up. Death Knight, or Panda, now with a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, trying to finish things off. We're going to see a Breath of Fire to try and clean up the remainder of these units here. Panda could be in a little bit of trouble. Are we going to be looking at a Tranquility? There's a Tranquility there, as the Brewmaster is regenerating quite a bit of hit points, as well as the Treants are now trying to take down the Necropolis at the down here. All right, damage being recovered by both sides. Breath of Fire finishing things off. Brewmaster could be in trouble. Staff of Preservation now for the save. Staff of Teleportation for the Keeper of the Grove to try and get away. And these constant and hit and run tactics do seem to be working. Keeper of the Grove now going to go after that Destroyer. Destroyer able to get back up onto the high ground before it gets taken down. Now down to 64 hit points. One Necropolis is all that is left. Panda could be making a move out over there here momentarily. Earth, Storm, and Fire is available. There is still some gold available as well for the Panda, as he buys a Potion of Invisibility. All right, Panda now moving down to the south here. It may come down to a Potion of Invisibility for the win there. Lich, Dark Rituals, Crypt Fiend in order to get an even more damage. There is one Destroyer out in play here. Meanwhile, the Keeper of the Grove going to summon up some Treants and now go after the Necropolis down to the south here, as the Panda is looking to finish off this building here. All right, this is going to be the end. There is no GG, but that is the end of the game. Crazy game going back and forth between TGW and KraV. In the end, the higher level heroes of KraV are unable to overcome the base race scenario that TGW was able to force. A lot of healing, a lot of gold. Yeah, interesting. Gold mined, a lot more gold mined by TGW to get the win, and even then, he always felt like he had the smaller army, giving more experience to the undead heroes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.